So a few of you been asking me and shit for like a little rundown. Alright, so we're gonna run the fuck down in this. Alright. What's the shit? We go over and shit. Alright, we just woke up. Alright. Alright, so there's been some confusion and shit over what's been going on. Alright, since left the trench. Alright, so I'm making this little video. Alright. Shout out to my God. This is God in its purest form. Nah. Alright, favorites. Alright, obviously we got that. Alright, good shit. Oh, it's nice. Okay. Yeah, hit a little 20 minutes again. But today, shit, okay. Alright, and then battle rosters. Yeah, we involved in never work for shit. As well as GD shit. Alright, obviously some of y'all seen the video. Check out the new GD video. Alright, she was lit. That was the second division. Alright, second division. But first, let's go with this shit. We're gonna start adding some shit for GD. Alright, we're starting from the bottom with our 3 massive divisions. Alright. 3 full rosters. Alright, over 32 players ready to fight. Not including the reserves. Alright, and acts. Alright, they're on active rotation. Alright, battles happening in all 3 sectors. Alright. North America, South America, right, that's one. Second sector, obviously the Afro-European, West Asian division. Time zone. And obviously there's the Asian time zone, right? Gotta put Aria, the big OG, right? So obviously, 3 divisions of GD, that's cool. So the biggest faction of GD, that's whatever. We're still learning and skill, gaining in skill. Alright, it's gonna take time, but hey, we do it fast right here. Alright, so obviously we have 2 fleets in naval warfare. And yes, I'll put this on YouTube and shit, so why not? Alright, now but we're still gonna get it. We still gonna get into Blood Nile. Shit, we might go to Market War because Conquer's going out wars. Even though we could get like 20 recruits and then just be set, like little like 9v9s and shit. Well, we'll see what we do in that game. Alright. Artwork, alright, so y'all been asking about the artwork. Big soloisms and making edits and shit. Alright, I've been on the grind in terms of art. This is where it's big table in it. Alright, so anyway, we got a bunch of shit. Alright, cold ass shit. Like, you have to zoom in. I don't know why you have to zoom in to get the full quality, full reps. It is what it is, right? Obviously, there's this. It's like my favorite one. Fucking 20K quality. I make sure all my art is in 20K quality. Right? I just like it. I'm gonna show the ads right now. Alright, next. Alright, obviously the green flag, alright, insignia. I'm trying to understand all that. It's just give me a second. Obviously the one with the big net. It's Photoshop opens, I'll show y'all. Alright. It's like shit crazy. Actually, nah, it's not even fully. I guess it's the session. Obviously, we have a lot of shit been cooking up. Alright. Hey, this gonna be fire. This gonna be fire. Don't look at this. Ah! Wow! Alright, get some short. Alright, swing. What's up, photos? Yeah, so y'all been wondering shit. Alright, so this is QQUX so far. This is back April 2nd. Damn, bro. Like 17 days, right? 17 days since you got that little 28 round GD. That's cool. This is a picture. This is a picture. All of our 5. So yeah, it basically has like the shift P with the free cam. Like it's concert mode. Yeah, the fun little map. So yeah. Golden Empire, not gonna lie, Royal Nation has a lot more drip in this game, in my opinion. So yeah. Alright, in terms of our expansion. Alright, hit this. Alright, full first of all, I guess you guys will know this. Alright, so boom, watch your Starbase history. Nyside Universal Fleet Fresh Navigators Federation. This was a massive year-long campaign we did from late 2022 to late 2023. Alright, basically Nyside lost its first major war in fucking Roblox. Alright. So in Starbase, there's this massive thing called the 7th Anti-Avalos Crusade. It was basically like 3 of the top 3 factions led by Avalos Federation in 2022, October-November period, versus Neosonic, who just started playing Starbase. Obviously, we're not gonna whoop their ass. Sorry, we could fight them. Casualties were around 2-1 for them. We had a bunch of allies. It was like a bunch of small factions with like 20 people. And then it was us with like 50 versus like Avalos and Talos. Combined, they had like 600 people. It was crazy. They were the best faction. So, yeah, we took the L there. Alright, and in between those 2 periods, there was the NTC Championship. We won the NTC, dominated, fucked up everybody. Big no side, and yeah, OGs only, OGs knew that shit. Alright, so it was cool. Went over there, defeated pedophile factions, doxed the shit out of Mockmish. Doxed the shit out of pedophile faction leaders, and then whooped their ass in the tournament. So yeah, us and our alliance, the United factions, whooped their shit. It was good. Alright, Near Warfare X. Before all that, early to mid 2022. This is a fucking joke. Alright, so basically there was this thing called, what was his name? G.R.A? No, it wasn't G.R.A. It was the Ace Combat faction. It was like the Eurasian flag. Like it's like the blue and what's that Ace Combat faction with like the blue flag, blue and it was something. All right, basically, boom. All right, they collapsed. All right, my boy Cola and some of their members. All right, asked me to get on Roblox. I was like, sure. So I could play New Warfare X with USN. Faction of the United States Navy. Alright? So, long story short, alright, we bring the Imperial Neoside, alright? We used to not be like the Vanguards, we used to be Imperialists. Alright, with the blue flag. Alright, blue flag lives on as the fleet flag, alright? So basically the naval air arm and like the Navy, the Neoside Imperial Navy. Yes, that's called the Nys Imperial Navy. Alright, it formed up. Shit. So basically, come summer 2022, alright, we found ourselves at war with our former ally.
مكتبة Old is Gold تقدم لكم المغرب العربي كان ولا يزال متفردا في إيقاعاته.
Fucking piece of shit. Okay, anyway. So we ended up fighting 13 factions and beating their ass. Alright, because my nigga Bond, he like shot down a friendly plane during a training exercise. It was like a 50-man training exercise. He shot down one of our allies. Like, we were chilling, and it was fun. But then their leader got mad, started saying shit. So, long story short, relations fell apart in the war. We all lost it. Alright, Nys Imperial Navy, the air arm. Alright, air arm just didn't exist. It used to just be Navy. We went back to that. So the Air Force is just the Naval Air Force now. The Air Force is just part of the Navy. And there's also the Army Air Force. So depending on what game we play, what games we play, obviously right now we don't play too many fucking air focused games. Besides Never, so there's that. Like obviously the truck shit. Let me add a little more shit real quick. Alright, so after all that, what was it? 2023 came on. Alright, late 2023. Back to Starbase. Yeah, y'all see this? Yeah, take notes, bitch. Yeah, the big bro is here. He was here. We little updates and shit. Alright, what am I looking for though? Alright, I'll show you, right? So 23 months, legendary saga. I got a whole LARP-ass document, bruh. Bro, I made that LARP-ass document. But basically, alright, boom, these are our losses. Galactic Vigilance Collective was us and a few other small factions. I was basically like in command. We had like fucking 50 niggas. And we just like whooped the shit out of ours in 2023, late 2020. We jumped the shit out of them. They started doing raids in Starbase again. Alright, after like a month of hyping the fuck out of themselves. Alright, we had to fuck them up though. Because we were already involved for like 2 months in Starbase again. Because we took a little break. Boom, came back. Kicked ass. Dominated in like 4 wars. Alright. And then of course we had to team up. Jump them in a public server. That turned to a 25v25 the first time. Second time, it was a 40v40. Third time, it was nearly 200 people. Alright, from both sides. It was insane, bro. And it took place over multiple public servers at once. Had to coordinate that shit, you feel me? So yeah. And then you already know I had to flex the shit out of it. Flex the shit out of it. The LARP, you already know. Hey, the flag was beautiful. So boom, had to shout out the gang. The loss has been redeemed. This is one of the battle lines. This is like one of the skirmishes too, like, okay. It was crazy, That shit was funny as fuck, though. Alright, so that's a little bit of lore for me. Alright, if y'all want anything else, just pay me, just tell me. Alright, obviously this. I could remove Mom because he came back. Alright. The Void, I don't even be for it like that. Fuck him. Twitter. Alright, but you already know. This is the hit list. There's actually a faction that named himself Entrenched, which is crazy. I don't even think they're involved in Entrenched. Spoke to their leader. He's like, cool dude. Alright, so anyway. We chilling, right? Yes, we up. Yes, we alive. You already know. 32-man GD roster. 40-man. Alright. Naval warfare. Oh yeah, let me show you this. Fucking. Yeah, I had to delay that shit. Like, right now it's like, in like 8 hours, some shit. Some crazy shit. It's supposed to happen yesterday, but like, they had like a medical issue, so. Yeah, Bloodhound Company. We're allied with their friends. Alright, we have to defeat ONB. Alright, so some of y'all are gonna remember ONB from Entrenched. And obviously whoop their ass. They're scared of us. Alright, there's some bitches. Their leader's like some fat ass, black ass nigga. Alright, he will be killed. IRL, you already know. So ONB and Naval Warfare, like, they've been like terrorizing the community. Like, they've been like allegedly number 1. But in reality, they lost a few battles. They kicked people, use mercs. It's like ONB side of the Naval Warfare community versus fucking, versus like the UFA side. It's like the Redders. There's no faction members in them. The community's just split dead into. But it's alright, we're gonna come in there. People are already saying we're gonna be the ONB defeaters, that we have to defeat and kill ONB. They already heard of us when we enter. So it's whatever, alright? We're gonna match. Alright, their skill. We're going to surpass their skill in Naval Warfare. You already fucking know, right? So hey, dude said I should offer recruitment from this video. So if you want to join me, give me a button this cool, you already know that. Alright.